Now, is my screen visible to everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So again, I will go back to my sites folder where I have created all my websites. Now, so if I change this name to index12.html, in that case, if I type simply localhost, then it will show me the list of the files because it doesn't know what is the directory index. Uh, so in that case, what I will do is I will change it back to index.html because that is the default directory index. This name is the default directory index. And again, it will come. This is my first page. So directory index means the page which will be served when the name of the file is not specified. Okay. Now, to start with, first we need to install a web server, Apache, then MySQL, and this PHP. Now, you can go to website and directly download XAMPP. So apachefriends.org in the Google if you search, and then from here you can download depending on what operating system are you using, Windows, Linux or MacBook. So
त्याचा आवाज पण येत नाहीये.
what happened? Hello? So just this XAMPP software, it is a Apache distribution. It contains MySQL, PHP, Apache, and Perl. So directly download this depending on what your operating system is there, and then you can install it using. It's a simple for Windows. It's a simple exe file. Next, finish. For Linux, you have to use command. Okay, voice is breaking. Voice is breaking.
It's clear, sir.
Okay, so maybe somebody may have a network problem. Even I may have, but if most of you are hearing fine, then we can proceed.
So currently your voice is
Yes,
okay,
clear,
but
sir.
sometimes it's been shattered and bit hazy.
Right.
So
Right.
Okay, so now Jasri told me that she had already informed you all about this software requirement XAMPP. So did everybody install it or even try installing it? Okay, and good. And for so this is XAMPP. So in one way, in one go, basically, I will get everything: MySQL, Apache, and PHP. So next thing is an IDE. So as I said, you can write it in Notepad, WordPad, but it is better that we use a IDE. So I will be using code. So this is a Visual Studio Code. It is very lightweight and it supports all the features. Earlier I was using NetBeans, but then I saw code is also good, so I moved on to code. Now to create a website, what we will do is I will create another folder for you guys. So pg DAC, and inside that pg DAC I will create the files one by one. So every day I will be demonstrating you something, and all the files will be in this folder. It will be like one complete website. So I will open that folder here. Done. Now in this I will like create my first page, index.html, and I will write something. This is the first page for pg DAC class. I will save it and then I will try to run it. Now, if I just a minute, if I write only HTTP localhost, so it will take me to the folder where the sites were there. Now, inside that I created another folder, pg DAC. So the document root was sites, but inside sites I created another folder pgDAC. So I will have to write after that the path of the file, and after that I can write index.html, the name of the file, or I cannot write even without, because since it is a directory index, even if I do not write the name of the file index.html, it will be accessible. Okay, so document root is sites folder. Similarly, if you are using like Apache JAMP on Windows, so it will be C drive JAMP/htdocs. So any website that you want to create, you have to put into htdocs. Or if you are using Linux, then the path will be /opt/lamp/htdocs. So depending, when you install, you will see what is the installation directory where you have to, not installation directory, the document root where you have to keep your website. Okay, again back to PPT. So this is the usual flow of content. Now any client browser, if he wants to access a website like www.pgdac.com, so first he will try to connect to a domain name server. So domain name server is a service which gives IP address corresponding to this domain name. So if I want to access pgdac.com, so first I need the IP address, because in the computer world, all the communications happen through IP addresses. All the computers have on the network, they will have an IP address. And if I want to access them, I need to use that IP address. But since IP address is not easy to remember, therefore there is a service which is called domain name system or domain name server, which will be converting IP address to domain name and vice versa. Means if you give it a domain name, it will give you the IP address, or if you give the IP address, it will tell you about the corresponding domain name. So if I want to access a website like pgdac.com, so I need to go to the domain name server. Basically, I do not do that. Implicitly, the browser will do. Okay, so browser will automatically connect to the DNS server, get the IP address for the that domain, and then it will try to connect to that computer whose IP is this 2.2.2, and it will try to get the first page index.html. So the computer will respond with either the file or 404, that file was not found. So these are the only two possibilities. And then there are other error codes if there is a problem on the web server. So this is the usual flow. So that was the introduction. Now, so if I, so you already now know directory index. Now you can see here, I have used local host. I can also use my IP address, and in both cases it will be accessible. And content is same. So I can use either domain name or IP address, but as I told you that it is very difficult to remember the IP address for all the websites. Therefore, we use domain names. So for local system, it means my own system, the default domain name is localhost, and IP address is 127.0.0.1, or otherwise I can use other IP also, like okay. So since I'm connected to internet through some network, I have another IP also. So 172.20.10 and 5. So if I put that also, it will work the same. So any IP that is there on the system, any IP that is there on the system, it will work. So every time it will give you the same result. So either use a domain name or an IP address. And okay, now second thing is that if I create any next folder in this, suppose I want to store all my images in img folder, or I want to store all my, now I want to put all my style sheet in one folder. So in that case, I can create multiple folders, and and inside that folders, I can create, suppose one style.css, some file I can create. And inside CSS, if I write this is CSS file, and I want to access this file. So for accessing this file in the browser, till pgdac is fine. After that, I have created a folder CSS, and inside that, the name of the file is style.css. So this is a CSS file. Okay, so this is how we can create multiple folders and file and access in the browser. Okay, is it clear till now? Any questions? So document root is important. Directory index is not so important. If somebody has not a specified directory index, anyway, it will by default take index.html, index.php. Those names are already there. Okay, so now next on, we will move on to starting with HTML. Now, HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Hypertext is the link that connects from one page to another, or the anchors. They are also known as anchors. And then markup language is basically, markup is some kind of instruction. Okay, so earlier, like for newspapers, when somebody will write an article and give it to editor, so editor will, with their red pen, they will write some instruction. Okay, change this verb is incorrect, or this line is incorrect, or the font should be this. So all those instruction he will write in his with his red pen. and those will be considered as the markup or the instruction that the correspondent has to follow. Now, similarly, same kind of instructions are there on a HTML page, which tells the browser how to parse the page or how to display the page. So suppose that I want to display a image, so I will use a img tag or markup. Similarly, if I have to show a paragraph, I will use a paragraph tag or markup. So markups are basically intend to tell browser how to display the content. Now, to understand this, any instruction, we use a tag. Now, tag is any word which is between these angled brackets. Okay, so inside that I can write, like for paragraph, it's P. And then I can write the content. This is a paragraph. And then I need to close this tag. Okay, so now if you see this, so this is a markup instruction P, which tells the browser that this content will be a paragraph. This content will be a paragraph. Now it is composed of three things. One is the start tag, which will be inside this angled bracket. And second one is a ending tag, which is used using slash, this slash. And then there is a content. This is a paragraph between those starting and ending tags. It means it says that between this starting and ending, this is a paragraph. Okay, so this entire thing, this is the start tag, this is the end tag, and this is your content. This is called an element. So this is called an element. A start tag plus content plus the end tag, it is called an element. Okay, I will zoom it more. So this is called an element. Now, I can also write one element inside another. It is not allowed for every tag, but for some I can write one element inside another. So this is called a complex element, because one element is having another element as the content. In the content part, another element is there. So this is called a complex element. So div here in this case is a complex element, but paragraph here, it only holds the content. It doesn't hold any other element. So it's a simple element. Okay. So you got a start tag, end tag, and then simple element and complex element. Now, any HTML document, it starts with HTML tag. Now, inside HTML tag, head is the first tag and body is the another tag. Now, in head tag, what do we write? So we write some meta information, like suppose I write title. So title of the website. So title of the website is pg-dac HTML. Okay, so if I run this page, no, sorry, not the CSS. Now you can see the title is appearing here, pg-dac HTML. Okay, so this is the title of the page. And then inside this, I can write like meta name equal to author, description, okay. So these kind of information may be written inside the head tag. Also, if I want to add any external file, like any CSS file I want to add, like link relation equal to style sheet and h reference equal to css slash style.css. So if I want to add any file, if I want to define some metadata properties, set titles, so all those things should be done in head. Now it is should be, it is not mandatory. Even if you write inside body, the file will be added, no problem. But it is advisable that you arrange your code in a way that is that anybody can understand. And so that's why it is advised that inside head you write all those meta information like titles, fav icon, or add any files if you have to do. And then inside body actual website content should be written. So like if I have to add a paragraph, I will write here. This is a paragraph. Okay, so so let us back to PPT. We already covered this, that any HTML document will start with the HTML tag. Inside that there will be a head tag, and then there will be a body tag. And then inside head tag, usually we write title, metadata information, or if any external file is there which has to be linked, so that will come into this head. And inside body, all the content that actually has to be shown, that will be inside this body. Now, so next part is that we will one by one go through important tags, and then I will simply demonstrate through this. So let us start with paragraph we have already seen. Now let's start with image. So for any image, actually I require a source. Okay, so source is the file name which I have to show. So currently I don't have any image. So what I will do is I will copy any image. Okay. And so I have copied one image file, cdag.png, and then here I will specify the path. Now, if you see here, index.html is here, and the image file which I have created, cdag.png, it is inside the img directory. So here, that's why I will write img slash and cdag.png. Okay. Now, next is alt. So alt is the text which will be displayed if the image is not there. So this is CDAC logo. Okay, done. Now let us see if the image has come or not. So image is not visible, but then the image size is very big. So what I can do is I can add width like 50 pixel. And you can see that the image has shrunk. The size is now smaller. So this image, okay, in this, okay. So image tag is for displaying an image, and this is called attribute. So attribute are the description for any tag. So like for this image tag, I want to tell what is the source, or what will be the width of the image, or what will be the text which will appear if the image is not there. So suppose I change it to cdac1.png, which is not there. So in that case, the alternate text should be shown. This is showing this is CDAC logo. Okay, but since width is less, that's why it has the content is cut. This is CDAC logo. So this is the alternate text which will be shown if the file, image file or any resource file is not there. But if I again put the actual URL, then the image will appear. Okay, so this is the image tag. Now what I will do is I will create one more file, second.html. Okay, now it is very important to navigate from one page to another page. Okay, so for navigating, I need to set up a link for the another page. So this is anchor tag. Anchor is basically a connection for any other page. So anchor href, which is the URL for second file. I want to go to, if somebody clicks on this anchor, I want to go to the on the second page. Okay, and I will write here, go to second page. So this will be shown. So go to second page. This is the portion which will be displayed on the page, and this is the name of the file where it will redirect me if I click on this. Just now this link has appeared. Go to second page. If I click on this, it will go to second page. Now let me write something here so that we understand. This is second page. If I click on this, this will go to the second page. So this is second page. If I want to come back, either I can directly click here, or here also I can write an anchor tag as a reference equal to index.html, and here I can write go back. So if I go to second page, they have give a link has come which asks me to go back. So if I click on this, and I will go back to first page. So this anchor tag is important because on any website, if you see there are menu, and in the menu, if you click on any link, it will go, it will lead me to another page. So it means that all those links, all those links are very important, and all those links can be declared using anchor tag. Now, so next thing is, in anchor tag, not only I can specify any file which is inside my project, I can specify any address. So suppose I want someone to go to google.com, so that also I can write. And here I will write Google search. Okay, so in that case, after go to second page, there is a Google search, and if I click on this, it will take me to google.com. Okay, so this is second thing, that I can go to another page, or I can go to an URL, or I can go to the I can go to another section of the same page. So in index.html, suppose I write id my div on same page. Okay, and then for demo, I will just create a div. Now you can see that on this page, this is a div, and if I go below, there is a, this is my div. Okay, so if I want to go to this section automatically, this is my div, I will simply click on div on the same page, and here I have specified my div as the connector. So if I click on this anchor, it will go to this my div, which is here, id equal to my div. I have specified this my div to this div. So if I click on this div on same page, it will take me to this is my div. Okay, so basically I mean to say that using an anchor tag, you can go to another file on your website, or you can go to another website itself, or you can go to another section of same page. In the same page, you can go to another section. Okay, so that is the anchor tag. Okay, what next? Now we'll go to second page. Now, there is a concept called block elements, and then there are inline elements. So what are block elements? So block elements are those elements which start and end with a new line. So basically, if I write a div and I write Anu, and if I create a new another div and I write pg DAC, now both elements, they will come on different lines. So Anup comes on another line and PG DAC comes on another line. Why? Because they are block elements which add a line break before the line so that they go to next line, and they also add a line after them so that if you write any content after them, it will go to another line. So I mean, basically just understand this, that any block element, they take the entire line. So their width is like 100%. Now then there are some elements which are like this is an inline and span element span. Okay, now you can see that I declared the element span as a span here. So this is inside a span, and a span is an inline element. How? Because it did not go to a new line like div. Div, when I wrote Anup, though the content is this much only, when I wrote another PG DAC, it went to the next line. But any like a span, it is an inline element. So this is the difference between block element and inline element. So inline element, it will start in the same line, and block element, it will start in the next line, and it will take the 100% width of the viewport. Viewport is your screen or your browser's screen. Okay, now next part is that text editing. In between, we'll keep checking this also. So block element and inline element we already covered. So div is a block element, span, anchor, these are inline element. Okay, now header. So header is any important text that we want to show. So header is shown by this. So like in a newspaper, you would be seeing that all the content will be in a smaller font, but the headline will be in a bigger font. So here also header makes the font bigger. The header can be denoted from H1 to H6. Okay, and the size of H1 to H6 will be different. So this is H1 and this is H6. Let me try a few others also. H2, S2, S3, S3, and so on. So let us see this. So this is H1, that is the biggest one. And this is H6, which is the smallest one. So from H1 to H6, depending on what size do you want on your website, you can change the header. So this is header. So header is for denoting important information or heading of the article. If you are writing an article and it starts from H1 to H6, and H1 has the biggest font size and H6 is the smallest font size. Okay, sorry, I did not pay attention to the chat box. There are a few questions. So one question is what meta tag is doing here. So meta tag is basically for metadata information, and it will not be visible on the website, but it is useful for crawlers. It is useful for crawlers. It is even useful for screen readers. So that is used for storing some information. So like on your website, you want to uh, some information like what is the name of the author, or then you want to specify that what are the keywords that define your article. Keywords like if I have written a article on, suppose I have written an article on our Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So in that case, the keywords may be like BJP will be one keyword, politics will be one keyword, government of India will be one keyword. So keywords are specific words which are used for defining, or which can be used for describing the content following that. Now H1 to S6 has a defined font size. We do not need to change. If we need to change, we can create our own div or a span or paragraph. What is the meaning of doc type? Doc type is for describing the type of the document. So it is not required, but you can write it. So for declaring a doc type, you write doc type, and if it is HTML file, you write HTML. That's all. That is the declaration of the what is the type of the document type. Okay, so questions done. We'll move on to next part. So paragraph we already saw, heading we saw, div and span we saw. Okay, now text formatting. So there are many tags available which can be used for formatting the text. So suppose that I want to write a bold text. So for that I will use B. This is bold text. Okay, if I go here, so this is a bold text. Okay, now one more thing, you can see that this is also not going to a new line. It means this is also an inline element. Okay, so this is for bold text. If I want to use italic, I will use I. This is italic text. I will refresh this page and you can see that this is appearing in italic. Okay, next, suppose that I want to change the line because I don't want everything to come on the same line. So I will use an element BR. This is for line break, which gives a new line. So after wherever I want a new line, I will use this. So now if you see earlier, these three are all in a single line because they are an inline element. But since I have added BR, they will come in next line. So this is BR will come in next line. This is italic text will come in another next line. Okay, now then there are like subscript, superscript. If you want to write any subscript, like E equal to I want to write this formula. So it is a subscript equal to MC square. So I will use SUP, superscript, this tag for adding a superscript. So if I write this, you can see E equal to MC square. So sup is used for superscript, and similarly water formula. So it is H and then subscript. So for subscript we use SUB, subscript, and O. So you can see water formula H2O, which is in the subscript. So this is superscript, this is subscript. Okay, what is the difference between div and BR? BR is an empty element which is only used for changing the line, whereas inside div I can write content. Okay, so you can see here in the index.html first page, inside div I have written content. This is my div, or this is a div, or even inside div I can declare a image, an anchor, everything I can write. But BR is an empty element which is only for changing the line. Now there is a question that there may be a question that why do we use div? So basically on a website, if you see, there may be multiple sections. Okay, so like one section is where all the menu is appearing on the, suppose facebook.com page. If you just remember, on the right left hand side, all the menus are there. Okay, in between all the posts are there, and then on the right hand side advertisements will come. So to separate all those sections, we can use div tag, or even section tag we can use. So div is used for basically bifurcating different sections of the web page. So like contact us, I can put in another div, or if there is a form, I can put it in another div, in that way. But BR is only for adding the line break. Okay, why it doesn't have an end tag? Because it's an empty element. Empty element is an element inside which I cannot write anything. It's an empty element. So that's why there is no ending tag. But I can write here itself the ending tag, br slash. That also means the same thing. Okay, so this is that. Then what else is there? Both can be used. Br slash or br, both can be used. Now, next part is, suppose that I want to write article. This is a, and I write 4 spaces. This is a spaced paragraph. And I will, now I have written so many, and then after that I will write this is a, and then a space, next line. Can you change the font pixel size of header? H1 to H6, H1 style equal to font size, add size. Good question. Try it yourself, because I think you already know this. So try it yourself. So now now I have written, this is a spaced paragraph, and in between I have added many spaces, and then I have written this is a spaced next line. I have not written any br tag. Okay, so now the question is, how will this look? So let us see. Now, can you see, I had written so many blank spaces, but from here it has disappeared. Okay, and I also wrote this is a next line on next line, but the next line did not come. So it means that any HTML page, it doesn't preserve the space or line break. An HTML element doesn't preserve any blank space. So if you want to add more spaces, you cannot add it. Okay, so what should you do? One way is adding a pre tag. So pre tag, it denotes the pre-formatted tag. Okay, pre-formatted tag, it can be pre-formatted tag. It defines that whatever format is written, print as it is. Do not change it. Okay, now let us see. Now can you see? Now the space is preserved and it goes to the next line also. Okay, so by default, any HTML page, it won't preserve the white space. If you have, even if you have written multiple white spaces, it will take only one white space. And for line change, no way, unless you have added br tag. But if you add it to pre tag, which is pre-formatted tag, so in case of pre-formatted tag, however you have written the text, same will be displayed on the website. Okay, so that is pre-formatted text. Voice breaking. Okay, anyway, what we will do is we'll take a small break.
Your voice is breaking.
Yeah, I got it. The voice is breaking, I got it. So we'll take a break and then we'll come back. Is my voice fine now or? Okay, so till now, what did we learn? That for developing any website, there are languages: HTML for static content, PHP for dynamic content, then CSS for changing the look and feel of the content. For effects, we can use JavaScript or jQuery, and then if I want my mobile to be compatible on to mobile devices as well, then we'll have to use responsive web designing. Means it will change automatically depending on the size of the device. Now, after that, we saw that we need to install a web server like Apache we can install, or like I have suggested that you use XAMPP, because in one XAMPP everything is there: Apache, MySQL, PHP. And then once you install it, where the question is, where do you create your web pages? So for that, every web server has a document root inside which you have to keep your web pages. So like in my cases, I have a sites folder in which I have created the different websites. So for you also today, I created that pgdac folder inside that website. So for accessing any website, I can use either the domain name, like I was using localhost, or the IP address, any IP address that is there on this system. Now, moving on to HTML, we saw HTML structure, which starts with HTML, and then inside that there are head and body. Body is the part where we have to actually write the website content. Head part only contains usually metadata, or if any file has to be included, that will be written. Okay. Now, then one more important part is fab icon. So if you see here, like Google search, this G is shown, or this JAMP icon is shown here. So these are called fab icons. So how do I add fab icon to my website? So one way is that I should copy my fab icon inside my root directory, the htdocs, wherever the document root is there. If I copy it there, automatically it will appear on all pages. I do not need to do anything. So what I will do is, like if I have this, where is pgdeck? So I have created a fab icon, Control C, and I will copy it here, Control V. So automatically it will appear on web pages. You can see here, CDAC, it is appearing, and this CDAC here it is appearing. And second way is adding it through link tag. So link tag as reference equal to fab icon, and then relation equal to icon. So this is another way, but this is a bad way, in the sense that you have to write this on all the pages. But it's better to copy it into the root directory or the document root, so that it automatically comes with all the pages. Okay, so that is the fab icon. Now the question is, how can I create a fab icon? So simply go to, you have any image, simply go to search image to icon, and you will get so many websites where you can convert your image to icon format, ico. So I simply took that cdac.png file and converted it to ico using an online converter. Okay, back to our presentation. So we were going through the text formatting tags, like B for bold, I for italic, U for underline, superscript, substring, then pre-formatted text, emphasized and strong are similar to bold, then block quote and delete text. So what is block quote? So block quote is similarly if any a statement like people quote that Narendra Modi told this, Mahatma Gandhi told this. So all those quotations, we can put it on a block quote. So inside block quote, this is a quotation from a famous man. So inside block quote, I can write any quotation by any person. So how it will be formatted? So how is it formatted is it takes some indentation. Indentation is the space from the starting, and then the quote will be displayed after that. Now next one is del. So del is for denoting that some text has been changed. So like the lockdown is till, and then suppose I write 3rd May. Okay, now this is the lockdown is till 3rd May. Now I want to change 3rd May to like 15th May, saying that 3rd May has changed to 15th May. So what can I do is I can put 3rd May inside del, and then I can write here 15th May. So can you see 3rd May is striked out and new date is being shown. So del is used for that, for striking out any text if we do not require it. Usually this will be seen in a website where paper submissions happen. So any conference website, they will be giving last date of submission, 10th of May, and later they will strike it and say that 15th May, and in the bracket they will write extended. It means the date for paper submission has been extended till 15th May. So this is for keeping track of the extension that has happened. So that is del block quote. Okay. Now we'll move on to some other tags. So already we have seen anchor tag. This page is full. We'll move on to next page, third.html. Now, so next thing is lists. So, so for list, there are two kind of list. So what is list? List is basically a list of content, item, text, anything that you want to display. Like suppose that in Microsoft Word, you would have seen bullet. So that is the list. So for list, there are two types. One is that the list is dot, 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 dot. And one list will be item number A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3. So there are two type of list. One is unordered list, UL. And another one is ordered list, OL. So unordered list, and the list item is written using LI, list item. So item 1, item 2. Now let us see how does this look like. So from second, we will move on to third. So item 1 and 2 are two bulleted items because this is unordered list. Now if I write ordered list and same thing, li item 3 and item 4. So ordered list will come with 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So this is the list listing. Now can we change the listing type with like instead of 1, 2, 3, I want A, B, C, D, or the Roman 123. Yes, it can be done. Let us see. So in the OL, I can write type equal to, can you see here the changes? I can use Roman I. So in that case, oh, I didn't save it. Just yeah. So in that case, it will come Roman 123, 1, 2. I can use ABCD. So in that case, the list will appear with ABCD. Now same way here also, an ordered list. If I want instead of circle, I want type equal to square. So instead of circle, a square has come. So this is ordered and unordered list. Now, where do we use it? So one way is we can use it for creating a menu, because menu is collection of links, home, about us, contact us, products, anything. That kind of menu items we can create using lists and just align them in a line. Or if we want to enumerate anything like days in a week, Monday, Tuesday, so all those things we can put it in a bulleted manner or in a list manner. Okay, any question? No, then we'll move on to next. So next important thing is table. So to create a table, we use table tag. Okay, now inside table, well, there are only two important things. One is table row and another one is table item. But there are other things also. So let us go, first we will start with row. So for table row, we use tr. So this is row number 1, because ultimately table is a collection of rows and columns. Okay, so each row is denoted by tr, and then td is for denoting the item, means one column. So like suppose I want to show name, and another column I want to show age, and let us add one more column at the starting, td, and in this I will write serial number. Okay, so let me again start it. So basically for creating a table, I require a table tag, and inside table tag for each row I will use tr for a single row. Now inside a row there will be multiple columns. For each column I will be using td and slash td. This is table data, this is table row. Now if I want to add one more row, I will use tr again, and inside tr I will use td for first column, so like serial number 1, and serial number 2 is name, and name I can use Anu, and third one is td and age. Now let us see how does this look like. So serial number, name, age is these three are in one row, and then one Anup 30 is in another row. But it doesn't look like table because the border is not there. Okay, so what we can do is, for now we'll see how to add border, good border using CSS, but for now just we'll write border equal to 5. And now border has appeared. Okay, so So this is the table and this is the border. And now you can see that there is a distance between one cell, like this cell is serial number and this cell is name. So between them, there is a small distance. So that distance we can control using cell spacing. So I can increase cell spacing to suppose 10. So in that case, can you see the distance has increased between the cells? Now, second thing is the distance between the text and the boundary of the cell. So this distance, I mean to say this distance which is between the text and the boundary of the cell, this is denoted using cell padding. So I can increase the cell padding. And now see the distance between the word and the cell boundary has increased. So this is cell padding. Now another important concept is, can we let me make some change. First name, and I will add one more td. Last name. Now let us see how does it look like. So can you see that 30 has come here in just below last name, because in the first row we added four columns, but in the second only 3 columns is there. So what I can do is, this Anup, this cell, I can extend it for last name also. So I can extend this Anup cell till last name so that age automatically goes to the last one. So for that, what do we use? So for that we use call span. So call span equal to 2, it means it will go till 2 column. So now Anup goes for 2 columns instead of 1. And age has reached 30 has reached to his actual age. Okay, so that is column span. To increase the length of the column to add more columns. Upper border is dark black and lower one is light white. Okay, this question will answer when we will see CSS. So basically border is not the correct way to set border for a table. Actually we should use actually we will use the CSS property border for setting the border for cell or TR or TD or the whole entire table. But for now, just for demonstration, I am using border. Okay, someone is saying that if we use padding equal to 0 and margin equal to 0, then bullet will be hidden or not. No, but bullet won't be hidden. For removing the bullet, we will have to use CSS, and we'll see it when CSS comes. Okay, so this was what is padding? Padding is basically the distance from the border of an element to the text content. So like this distance from this border to this here, this distance is padding. If I increase this, like make it 20, the distance will increase. From this to this, it will be double. Now you can see the distance between this to this is double. So that is padding. Okay, next. So column span, we got it. Now same way I can also use for row span. So tr. Now suppose I want the serial number as the same on the next row also. So what I can do is for next row I will add Amit. Now suppose in the next line I added Amit as first name, Kumar as last name, and age 32. But serial number 1 I want it to extend to the next row also. So for now it will look like this, because serial number is not extended to the next row. So this is looking like this. So what we have to do is we have to, for serial number 1, we have to change the row span. So row span equal to 2. So instead of only this row, it will come in next row also. And let me reduce the cell spacing because it is too much. So since I changed the row span of 1, it is expanding to 2 rows instead of only single row. Just like I extended the column span for this Anup, similarly I extended the row span for this serial number. Okay, so this is how you can create a table. Now, if you see the content of the table and the header of the table, it looks same. So to change the header, instead of TD, we use TH. So I have changed all the top header with TH. Now you can see that they have become bold. So in this way, you can understand that this is a header, table header basically. Now now there is next thing is caption. So caption is to denote about what is the table about. So if I write caption and this table is about table 1 imply list. So caption will appear like this, table 1 imply list, and then the table 1 is there. Okay. Now there is one more bifurcation. So what we can do is we can use table head for denoting the table head. So the first row, we can put it inside a table head, which tells that this row is a header. And then I can use table body, T body, for denoting the body part. Body part means where the data is there, actual data. Okay, so this is only for arranging the code. So TD will denote that this part is table header, and these parts, these two rows are table body. And if I want to add something as footer, so T foot is the table footer, and inside I can add like T row and TD row span column span equal to 4, and I can write something like this is list of implies. Okay, so in the table header, I can have a caption which will tell about what is this table about, and then T header for the header part, which will display the column, what is the name of the column, like it's the serial number or first name or last name. And then we have T body for displaying the actual data, and T footer. So like suppose that I have written item and prices. So in that I want the sum of the prices. So in that case, I will use the T footer to denote the sum of the prices. Now for now, how does it look like? So this looks like this serial number, then this is the body, and this is the footer. Now one important thing I will just show you is order. That T footer I can write on the top, but since it is a footer, it will always come at the bottom. Did it change? No. So it still comes at the bottom, and header will always come on the top. So this is the way of arranging the table into different portions: header, footer, and the body. So this table is important. Now earlier people used to use tables for layout design. So when I did not put the border equal to 5, you would have seen that there was nothing, there was simply the content, not the border. So you cannot tell whether it is a table or the normally written content. So that's why people used to use table for content layout. So if you want to change the template of the website by, like, first will be the menu part, like this part will be the menu, second part will be the content, third part will be like advertisements. So for arranging in this way, people used to use tables, but that is a very wide idea nowadays. So now we will nowadays we use grid system for arranging the content. Okay, so table done, list also done. What is next? Oh, table done. Okay, the most important thing, forms. So I'll create another form.html. Now, everybody, you would have seen forms on multiple websites. So like when you log in, there is a form which asks for username and password. When you register, there is a form which is asking for your username, password, name, age, email address, mobile number, different things they are asking for. So form is usually used for taking data from the user, taking data, and and usually a form will be redirected to another page for accessing that data. So basically there will be two pages. One page where the form elements will be there, in which you will enter your data, and then there will be second page on which that form data will be sent for verification. So like when you enter username and password, it goes to some authentication page where it will be authenticated, and then you get back your result. If you are authenticated, it will lead you to home page. Otherwise it will say you wrong username password. So any form, it will basically, the form is denoted using form tag, and any form will be basically sent to some other page. So that another page is written as action. So form action equal to, suppose I have created action third dot HTML, and then just only this. Now button tag, anyway I had to tell here about button tag, but just for now you see that button tag is used for displaying a button. So let us see how does this look like. So only one button is there in this form. Okay, and if I click on submit button, it is taking me to third.html. Why? Because in the action I have written third.html. So any form, it redirects its contents to another page. So whatever page I mention here, it will be redirected to that page. So like if I write second.html, so it will be redirected to second.html. Now it has gone to second.html. Yeah? So this is the action part. So action part is the page where you want to send your form data. So whatever your form data is, you want to send it there. Now, next, suppose I want to take an input from user. So for that, there is an input type equal to text. And then name equal to, suppose I want username here. Okay, let us go here. Form.html. Can you see an input box has come and submit has come? But how will you know that what should I enter here? So for that, there are two ways. I can add a label, enter username. So in that case, it will show enter username, and then you can enter here something. And if you click on submit, can you see here in the URL, username equal to Anup is being shown. So whatever data that you sent from the previous page, it is being displayed here. How can we set Anup into the center of the box? We will use CSS. Have patience, everything will learn. Okay, so the form, you can see that whatever name is written here, name equal to username, same thing will appear in the URL. Username equal to, and then whatever I typed inside that box will appear here. So if I type it here, Ashish, so it will show here username equal to Ashish. Now come back here. So in the form, action was for the page where the content will go. So action was where the content form data will go. Now next one is method. So method, there are get or post. So by default, any data will be sent using either of the method, get method or post method. By default, it will be sent using the get method. If I do not write it, method equal to get, automatically it will use get. Now what happens when we use get? So first thing is that all my data will appear in the URL. We have seen here, the data username equal to Ashish is appearing here. But if I use post, and then type it something here, Ashish. Now you can see second.html has come, but there is no data here. So first difference between get and post is that the data is not displayed in the URL in post, but in get, the data will be displayed in the URL. Second thing, there is a size limitation on get and post. So using get, you can only send a small data, but using post, you can send big data, like you can send a movie file. Next part is ENC type. So ENC type is multi-part / form data. So what is ENC type? Basically, ENC type is encoding type. So how your data will be encoded. So multi-part form data, what does it do is each data segment, it will fragment and send separately. But in case of without multi-part, it will simply encode as a text. Let me show you. Now suppose I remove the post and multi-part. So in this case, my data, how will it go? Username Anup, password is suppose cdag123. Now click on submit. Now you can see that the this is encoded in the URL itself with separated by %, which is for and. So username equal to Anup and password equal to cdag123 and keep on adding. Whatever fields, everything will come here in the URL encoding. Now in the post, so this is first part, XWW form URL encoded. So it will encode in the URL itself. And then we have form / multi-part / form data, in which every field will be broken as a single entity, and then it will be sent separately in multiple parts instead of one URL encoded object. Okay, now we'll move on to some other thing. So suppose that this is not there, enter username label is not there. So if label is not there, so we can use placeholders. So placeholder equal to username, suppose. So how it look like? So here you can see it looks like this. So username will come as a placeholder. If I tick on this and type something, it will disappear. If I remove, again it will appear. So it means it is telling you that you have to type username here. So this is placeholder. Now, next part is if I click on submit, it gets automatically submitted even if data is not there. I did not enter anything. Still, when I clicked on submit, the field is being submitted. So if I want to user to fill the field, I will write here required. So required means without entering this data, he cannot go to another page. It will tell him, please fill in the field because it is a required field. So for second also I will write placeholder equal to password and then required. Okay, next. So it means that both a placeholder comes. If I write here username, but I do not write password, still it will say, please fill in the form, because both are required field. And if I write both, then only it will go to next page. Done. Now, next. So can you see that in the password field, the password is appearing as a plain text. Anyone can see what I have written. So to change that, we will change the type of text to password. So this is another input type where I can change the input as password so that the content is hidden. Now if I type anything here, can you see all are coming as a dot dot dot. So suppose I type here a no password, I can type anything, but it won't be visible to the user. Okay, next. Okay, next is this button itself. So button, there are multiple ways of showing a button. So one is the button tag where I write button, and in between the button tags, I can write submit. Then there is input type equal to submit and value equal to suppose submit form. In this case, apart from this button, I have another button. And on this button, it is written submit form because I have set the value with submit form. Okay. Third is input type equal to button, and again value equal to input button. So this is the third way of showing a button. So first way is using button, one is input type equal to submit, and third one is input type equal to button. So all are buttons, and you click on any one, the form will be submitted. So any button, the form will be submitted. Okay. Now, so I will use input type equal to submit.
Sir, we have few questions. Sir, please.
Yeah. I thought I will finish with this then.
Okay.
Make method post to hide data. By default, it's get method. Yes. It's not hiding data. Only thing, it will not be shown in the URL. But data is not hidden. If you want to actually hide data, you will have to use HTTPS. Or otherwise, if someone is using any tool to check the data, he can definitely see the data. So post method is not for hiding data. Form to open in new window. Okay, why do you want to form to open a new window? Automatically it goes to new window. In case of ENC type multipart, what value will be stored in the database? That we will see when we go to PHP, because the dynamic data that is coming from your form, PHP will be used for handling that data. So that data will be like plain text only, depending on what encoding has been used. But usually it will be UTF-8, Unified Text Format. Username and password box are not aligned. Will it be done by CSS or can it be done by some attribute? So username and password are aligned using either, as for now you can use table, since you already know that table cells will be aligned properly, or otherwise later we will use CSS. Okay, next question is, please repeat ENC type. So ENC type is basically encoding type. So when your data is sent from one page to another, there can be multiple encoding types. Like one is that I showed you, username equal to Anoop and password equal to something and age equal to 30 and designation equal to PTO. So that is one single string where it is concatenated. So it is basically URL encoded. Another one is multi-part form data, in which each field is sent separately as a different packets. And similarly, there will be JSON encoding will be also there. We'll see later when we go for Ajax and Ajax. Okay, there are certain key, sites from where you cannot copy the text. How can you do that? Now, for copying the text, what do you use? Either you use this Control C for command, or you use a right click and copy. Now, on a website, if you use JavaScript, you can disable these keys. So you can disable Control C and right click. So if you disable these things, you cannot copy the text. Okay. Separate window, not in the same window in the any command. There is no command. Now you can use target equal to underscore blank. Or the best thing is, or we can use Ajax also, JavaScript. So there are multiple input types. So we have only seen text and password, and on both we have seen required field and placeholder. Now next part is we'll see read only. So suppose that label organization input type equal to text, name equal to org, and then value equal to CDAC, and then read only. Okay. So what I want to do is that I have created one organization CDAC, and it is read only because you cannot change it. So let me give a line break. So organization CDAC. Now CDAC is fixed because it is for, like, suppose for CDAC imply login. So this CDAC input field is fixed. You cannot change it. So for that I have declared it as a read only. And I have set the value as CDAC because the user cannot set the value. So I have to provide the value. Okay, next input type. Next input type is input type equal to file, suppose. So name equal to image. So this is, on many websites you can upload your photos. So for or on any job website, you usually upload your resume. So for uploading anything, you require this file type, input type equal to file. So if I select on choose file, it will allow me to select any file, and then the file name will appear here. Okay, so I can choose another file and the file name is changed. So if I submit the form, then this file will also go to the another page, second.html. But now this file is a data. It cannot be encoded in the URL, like username equal to Anup and password equal to this. So in that case, we only will have to use post with multi-part form data. So if you have to use input type equal to file, you must use method post and encoding type multi-part form data. Okay, next. So next one is input type equal to number. Now you can see this is this only can accept numbers. So this input box is for numbers. Then I can set mean equal to like 1, max equal to like 20. So in this case, the numbers will minimum go from start from 1 and go to max 20. Now you can see -2 is also there. But if I put again refresh this mean and max, then minimum it goes to 1 and maximum it goes to 20. After 20 it won't go anywhere. Can we use encryption technique to hide our password? Not on HTML. HTML anyway it is hidden, but while saving the password we can use encryption techniques. Like we can use it's not an encryption technique, it's a hashing technique, but that will work. We'll see while doing it in PHP. So number, mean and max. And then one more thing, you saw that the number is increasing by 1, like 20, 19, 18. By 1 it is decreasing or increasing. So that is called a step. So I can define a step equal to suppose 2. So in that case, it will increase by step 2. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19 and done, because after that it won't come. Can we set uploading file size? Yes, we can set up uploading file size, but not here in HTML. It will be from either server side or using JavaScript. So server side, when the file is being uploaded, it will check whether the file, what is the file size, and then depending on the file size, it will put the condition that your file size is greater than this or your file size is less than this. If you want to see, I will just show you. Suppose I will put a PHP file here to handle the input. So form submit.php, and then here I will add PHP code print _r $_ files. Okay, and now the form, I will, instead of second.html, I will redirect to form submit.php. Okay, now suppose I select a file here, and the file name is suppose deployment guide. Open and submit the form. So on the other part, in the PHP file, you can see the name of the file. The name of the file is deployment guide version 0.1, and the size is also shown in the KBs. So you can convert it to MBs and bytes and convert it to KB, MB, GB, and then put restriction. You can also put restriction on the type of the file, that whether a user can upload only PDF file or only image file. In image, he can only upload JPG, not PNG. So these kind of restrictions can be put on the server side. We'll see it later when PHP comes. Okay, so this is form type equal to number. Then next input type, radio. So suppose I write here gender. So input type equal to radio, and here name equal to gender, and male. And then again, I will simply copy paste this. And female. So in that case, this is for radio button. So radio button, how does this look like? Radio button. So gender, male and female. Now important part, radio button is for selecting either of the option. So either male or female. Now how do I did that? So I did that by putting the name as same, gender. So if I put the same name, if I put here, suppose Jen, only Jen. So now this name is different and second input is still gender. So now both can be selected because the name is different. So male can also be selected, female can also be selected. But if name is same, if I change this also to gender, then only one can be selected. So either male or female. Okay, so name is important. So this is radio button. Okay, so this is radio button. Next is drop down. So you would have seen some drop down will be there, like select your country or a state. So in that case, we can use drop down. So for drop down, suppose I am asking for select course. So for drop down, it is select. Select is the tag, and then inside select we have options. So like PG DAC. Next option, PG DITIS. Next option, PG DM something, and so on. So you can add as many options as you want. So how that will be displayed? So here, PG DAC, PG DITIS, PG DM. So this is for selection. Now, the thing is that suppose you want any value to be pre-selected. Like currently, if I see PG DAC is by default pre-selected. Okay, so if you want some other value to be pre-selected, you have to use selected attribute. So in that case, now I have put selected on PGDM. So if I refresh the page, PGDM will be by default selected. So PGDM is by default selected. Okay, that is the select. Next. Input type equal to email. Well, you can use text also for inputting email, but there is a type also email. What is the benefit is I don't have to validate the email. Let me put a placeholder or email. So email I can put, suppose if I put ABCDEF and try to submit the form. So it will say that please include @ in the email address. It is missing because this is not a valid email. But if I write A_B.C, now there is no error. Okay, because error was only limited because the email format was incorrect. If I write incorrect format, it will say that this is not a valid email address. So you should add an @ in the email address. Okay, now next, email. After email, so suppose that you would have seen checkbox. So checkbox means you can select multiple options. So like what are your interests? So you can select web programming, Java, PHP, something. So for that checkbox is used. So input type equal to checkbox and name equal to, suppose, interest, int. And then I can write here interest1 Java. And then I will simply copy paste, Control C, Control V, Control V, and I can change to Java, then data science, PHP, and it will appear like this checkbox. So I can select multiple here. So radio button is for selecting one of the option, but checkbox is for selecting multiple options. Okay, so that is checkbox. Okay, next. Let me go to PPT. What we have done. Range. So input type equal to range, mean 0, max 10, and this is like volume slider. Volume slider, if I put here volume slider, so this is the from 0 to 10 it will increase. So this is for range selection. Int is just a name. It's not integer. It's the name. You can put any other name like interest instead of only int. Control C. Just a name. Name can be anything. But remember, this name will go on the other page. Like interest equal to Java, interest equal to data science, interest equal to PHP. So whatever you write here, same thing will go. If you write int, so on the other hand, you will get int equal to Java, int equal to PHP, int equal to data science. So this name is important everywhere in all name. So if you forget name, it won't work. So slider done, volume slider, then BR. Input type equal to reset. So reset is for resetting the values that is written in the form. So suppose you entered some values and you want to remove that values. So for that you will use reset. So suppose I selected mail here, email I wrote a@b.c. I selected AWP data something something number, I selected 7, and then I click on reset. So every value will go. Whatever value I had selected, everything will disappear. So this is for resetting the form. So this is for resetting the form. Next. Birth date. So I want a date selector. So input type equal to date, and then I can put name equal to DOB. So now I will get a date selector. So here you can see after birth date there is a date selector, and I can click on this and select any date. So I can select year, date, whatever value I want. February 4th. So it will be selected February 4th, 2020. So this is a date selector, date input. And similarly, there is a time input. Birth time. Time of birth. So here you can see the time is there and this icon is there. If I click on this icon, I can select any time, AM, PM, 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock. And I can scroll to check all the timing value, 10:45, 3:45 PM, and done. So 3:46 PM. So this is for time selection and this is for date selection. Okay, last but not the least, hidden. So suppose that you are tracking the candidate number. So what you can do is you can create an input field which will be hidden. So input type equal to hidden and some value equal to candidate underscore 109. It means that some value is there to indicate what is the candidate number which has come to for the registration. So this input will be hidden. So it won't be shown. It is not shown here input since it is hidden, but if I submit it, it will be accessible on the other page. So like name, if I put here name equal to hidden field, okay, and here I try to print this. So when I submit the form, can you see the hidden field has also come? Hidden field candidate underscore 109. Okay, so it will not be visible here because it is not for the user, it is for internal purpose. Like I have assigned a candidate number to the candidate, but it when the value is posted, it will go to the another page, to the PHP page where the file is being submitted. Why name is important? Will it work without name? And Raksha is saying name is like courier to carry data, which is entered from one page to another. Yeah, that is correct. So basically, any data, if I say, suppose that if I say like 98803. So what is 98803? I have only given you the value, but you also require something to identify what is this. So for that we use key. So like if I say telephone equal to 99803. So you know that 98803 is basically a telephone. Okay. So similarly, when a form is submitted, data will come, CDAC or admin 123. But you need to know that what is this or what is this field or what is this field. For that, name is required so that you identify that, okay, candidate 109 is the hidden field. CDAC is the organization. So this is the name and this is the value or key value. Is it clear, Varsa? So any field we identify using the name. So without name, I cannot identify what is this data. Can we restrict the date year, like someone is born before the year is not eligible to form? I just showed you that restrictions can be put using all, either we can use uh, like number. I showed you that there is a min, there is a max. Or I also told you how you can restrict using the server side. So once the data goes back to the server, you can say that uh, this date is not applicable. Or you can use min or max, that minimum this date will be acceptable and maximum this date. Like in case of railway reservation. So if 90 days is allowed, so from today is the minimum and maximum is 90 days from today. So you can set that min and max value for date also. Date also, time also. Okay, so that is there. So form is completed. Okay, form is completed. Now next part is that some of the character, a special character if you want to show. So for showing a special character, you need a special.html. So for displaying any special character, if you type directly, it won't show here. Okay, so for them, there is a sequence of character that is defined, like suppose %NBSP. So this equal to a space. So if I write NBSP, it will denote one space. Earlier itself, I told you that if I write single space, it will work. But if I write 5 space, it will convert back to 1 space. But if I want to actually write multiple space, then I will have to use NBSP. Like example, I am, and then I have written 4-5 spaces and a scientist. Okay, now I have written so many spaces, But if I go to special.html, so it did not show the space. I am a scientist. There is no space. So what I can do is I can use ampersand NBSP. Control C, and number of spaces will depend on how many times I have written NBSP. And then if I type again, see the space. Okay. Now, next, similarly, so NBSP is one example of this special character. Similarly, there are like ampersand dollar 357. If I want to write price dollar this. So for denoting the dollar, we use ampersand dollar. So in that way, the special character dollar has come, dollar 357. And then ampersand copy. So this is for copyright. Copyright CDAC Bangalore. And then one line break I'll put. So copyright symbol will appear. Copyright CDAC Bangalore. So this is for showing the symbols. Now next question is emojis. Nowadays everybody is showing emojis. So can we also show emojis? Yes, we can show. So for that, like ampersand has 128525. Let us see which emoji comes. Okay, so this emoji has come. So similarly, if we change the number, we will get different emoji, like 24. Okay, so sad face, or if you want a laughing face, Control C, Control V, 16. Done. So in this way, any special character or emojis, these if I want to display, then I can use this entity references. This is called an entity reference, ampersand, and then some character, and finally one semicolon. Okay. Now, if I am a good coder, so usually any good coder, what do they do is they write some comments so that code is understandable. So like if I want to write that this code is for demonstration of special entity references. So for writing a special, just a minute. इधर सीधा होके जाना 10 मिनट आता हूँ. Okay, so suppose I want to write any comment here. So for writing any comment, we use this. So this is a comment. Okay, so this is for denoting a comment. So if I want to denote a comment, I will use this less than exclamation hyphen hyphen, and then comment I will write, and ending tag will be hyphen hyphen and greater than. So for writing comment, we use this. what next? So comment won't be displayed here. Comment is only for the purpose of a better coding. Like if I have writing a sorting algorithm, so I will write like we write comments that this is the variable declaration, this is the for loop for checking the max element, and so on. So comment we usually write for better readability of the program. So here also we can add comment. Okay, what more? Last but not the least, in HTML, this is the last topic, which is multimedia. So if I want to play any audio or video, I can use audio. I can use video tag, video. And then inside video, I'll have to type source src equal to, suppose I have some video file. So for now, I will just leave it blank, source equal to something, and then type equal to okay. Now I require a video file. So what I will do is I will copy some video from some other place. And I will paste it in pgdoc folder. Okay, so I have got a sample.mp4. So if I put here sample.mp4, now I will change here multimedia.html. Okay, the video is appearing on the entire page. So what I can do is I can set the height and width. So width equal to, suppose, only 200. So in that case, so video is appearing only in this, but you can say that video is not playing and control is also not there. So you cannot play and pause. So what I can do is I will add controls. Now controls is there. Control is there. So if I click on play, it will play the video. I can mute the video, change the volume level. I can go to full screen, all those things. So controls is there. And if I want to start it automatically, so I will use autoplay, so that once the video is loaded, automatically it will play. But you can see that this is not auto playing, because many of the browsers, they have put restriction on playing a video in autoplay mode automatically. So what we can do is, if I make it muted, means the audio won't be there, then in that case it will autoplay. So if I mute the audio, then it will autoplay. So now you can see the video is auto playing, but the audio is muted. Now I can unmute the video. So autoplay is not supported by all the websites. So all the browsers. So in that case, we start the video autoplay using muted. And same for audio. Audio. I'll remove the autoplay and I require an audio file. So I will again copy paste from previous class. So now I have audio also. If I click on play here, it's playing the audio. Okay, so this is done for HTML. Now see, there are so many tags, there is so many information. So it's not required that you know everything. But it's just now we saw a special character for emojis. Now you cannot remember all the numbers for all the emojis. So the best way is that you remember how it is done. And then at the time of doing it, just search Google that emoji for HTML entity reference for happy emoji or sad emoji or lazy emoji, anything. Or similarly, here also audio, video, you can simply refer to the tag, but at least you know how to specify the source name, type of the video, how controls will come, how it will be autoplay. So all those information you should know, and remaining you can refer on online. Now the best thing to practice and learn online is W3 Schools. So you go to w3schools.com and start learning HTML. Even if you don't have like system, online itself, they have given like for practice, they have given try it yourself. Click on that, try it yourself, change the code and then run it. So online itself, you will learn how to code. You do not require any other system. In mobile also you can do it. Okay. So I will finish up now. And from 2:30 to 3:30 it is actually practice time for you, but since I have learned that VPN is not available, so you can practice it yourself. I will be online. If you have any question, you can ask. Okay, so 2:30 to 3:30 will be like a tutorial where you can ask any question and I will respond to that. Okay, so can you copy all the commands and give us? I will share this folder later on. And anyway, I think they will give you the video also. And the best way is W3, which I told you. Go to W3, start practicing, because they have given you try it yourself columns where you can click on that and go and practice yourself. Okay, thank you. I will disconnect. We'll meet again at 2:30 if you have any questions.